All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching, preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayashat, the house of David. All right, this is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get in to camp. Okay. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and the speckled birds whose father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American would be considered the true children of Israel. All right, you are the heritage of who the world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah. His name is Yahweh, and we pray in the name, which is Bahashem, of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jesus. All right, his name is Yahweh Shai. All right, and that meaning God. So the name, the first name that I said was Yahweh. All right, and the name Yahweh means he is. All right, or he to be. All right, so Yahweh, and we pray in the name Bahashem, which is in the name Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jesus Christ, right? His name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he delivers, okay? And Bahashem, Rakakadash, and the Holy Spirit, all right? So when you hear us open up, we pray in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, all right? But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans would be considered the bloodline, the heritage of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, okay? And we're going to go ahead and get that and prove that through scripture. Okay, go ahead.
Romans 9, starting at 2. That I have great heaviness and continue. That I have great heaviness and continued sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accused from the Mashiach from my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
For the brother and my kinsmen according to the flesh. All right. So according to the flesh, that means that we belong unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, as it goes to explain. Go ahead.
For who are Israelites, to whom pertaining the adoption and the glory and the covenant and the giving of law and the service of the power and the promises.
To who are Israelites. Okay. So this thing is heritage based. Okay. The Bible is only specifically talking to the nation of Israel for salvation. All right, there are other nations in the Bible, but it is for their correction, okay, or for their destruction. It just depends what other nation you are of the Bible. There are 18 nations in the Bible, and the Israelites are the top nation. All right, Sluck it. Read that again.
This is Romans 9 and 4. Who are the Israelites, to whom it pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of law and the service of the power and the promises.
The service of the power and the promises. What was the promise? All right, the promise was that Israel's seed would abide forever. Okay, that the covenant and salvation belongeth unto Israel. Okay, it belongs to nobody else. It doesn't belong to the Chinese man, the Filipino man, the Russian man, the white man, the Cantonese man. All right, the Ethiopian, the African. It belongs unto the nation of Israel, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Okay, go ahead.
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh of the Mashiach come, who is over all, the power blessed forever. Amen.
All right, so when the Most High Yahweh sent his only begotten son down, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, all right, he sent him for the Israelites. All right, and matter of fact, go ahead and go to Matthew 1 and 21 so we can back that up right quick.
Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and those shall call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Read it just like it's.
Oh, okay. All right, this is Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
All right. So once again, hey, it goes to show you that the Most High sent his only begotten Son unto the nation of Israel, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jebus, all right. His name is Yahushua, sent it for his nation, his people, all right. And he came out of the tribe of Judah, the head tribe of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay. All right. And just to go and further prove right quick, we're going to keep going through the spirit. Genesis.
This is Genesis. It's going to be Genesis 49 and verse 1.
48.
So, yeah. It's Genesis 48 and 1. It says, and it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick, and he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim.
So Manasseh and Ephraim, all right, and what you're going to continue to find out that Joseph, all right, Joseph was the ruler of Egypt, all right. He was second hand to Pharaoh, okay. He was the as what they call the king's hand, okay. Yeah, you can continue.
It says, and one told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed.
God. Right. So here it is, our forefather, all right, because our forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right, strengthened himself to receive his son. Go ahead and drop down to 8. All right. And then we're going to get into context of what it is and what it is to be of the children of Israel. All right. And how it came to be. Yeah.
Verse 8, and Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, who are these?
All right. So here it is. Our forefather Jacob asked, who are these? All right. Because Joseph had children. If you go back into the story, Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers. Okay. Salakia was sold into slavery by his brothers. And then later on, after the famine, just a quick detail, after the famine, after he was in Egypt, he became discerned the dream and became the right hand of the king. All right. If you want to know more, you got to pick up the scriptures and go a little bit more into it. All right. Or watch videos that brothers have done on it. Okay.
That famine had pushed, the rest of, our forefathers, the head or the forefathers of each tribe, into Egypt, because there was a famine.
All right.
And Egypt was the only place that had an abundance of food at that time. And there was a famine in Egypt too.
Yeah.
But them being
a
established country, all right, and an established power, they had an abundance of food to, somewhat weather the storm.
Well, they had abundance of food because Joseph had the dream. All right, he discerned the dream that he was supposed to store up. That's how he found favor of the Pharaoh. All right, which was then the king, I guess, like Pharaoh king. Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like same difference. So that's how he was established as the right hand. Okay, because ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, that he should be able to discern that dream for the king, all right, which put him in the position, all right, for this very thing, okay, because there is no coincidences. Yahweh Shem Yahushai does everything according to his will and his plan, all right.
And you see, like throughout the scriptures, how understanding dreams, led to a position of high power, as Daniel, he was able to break down Nebuchadnezzar's dream, All right, and that put him in a place of power.
Wow.
You know, it gave them favor in the sight of you know, these their oppressors. You know?
God. The brother's got a.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whereversoever he will.
God. So this is exactly what Yahushua did, all right, to make Joseph, all right, go into Egypt to get the blessing that he received. All right. So all this, so that prophecy could be fulfilled. Okay. So the children of Israel could be further established. All right.
Back in Genesis 48, and I'm gonna start back at 9. It says, "And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom the Most High have given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them."
God. All right. So the blessing is once again is it goes to show it is a bloodline blessing. Okay, a bloodline blessing that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai bestowed on the children of Jacob and the children of Joseph. Okay, because ultimately Joseph belonged to Jacob. All right, and then blessed his children. Once again, as you go further in and read the story, you'll start understanding through the will and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. If you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see how exactly it lines up. All right, it lines up perfectly. All right, because are you not your father's seed? Okay, so that means your sons and your daughters belong to your father because you belong to your father. All right. Go to drop down. Go to 49. You can just go to 49 right quick and just read you can just read. So I can read down on that to the blessing. If you're at 10. Sorry, 48. Okay, so 10, go through 15, 16, sorry.
God. This is Genesis 48:10. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Verse 11, and Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, the Most High hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him.
God. Hey, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is establishing, all right, these Joseph's children as a part of the nation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Israel stretched out his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittily, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, The Most High, before whom my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, did walk, the power which feed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into multitude in the midst of the earth.
God, that's what I wanted. All right. So it is right there that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai did establish them a part of the nation. Okay. So that's where you get the southern and northern kingdom from. Okay. It was established in the nation that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has well, I was just saying southern and northern. But like the brother said, they're both northern kingdom. But once again, the southern and northern kingdom, is established. Okay, this is that 2 sticks. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go to that. Isaiah, Ezekiel Yep. Ezekiel. Salakia.
Better.
Like 16. It starts at 16. I said I think it starts at 16. Go a little bit back just to make sure. Start up at 12.
This is Ezekiel 37, starting at 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, this said the Lord power, behold, my people will I open your graves and cause ye to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O open my people, and brought you up out of your graves.
God, so Yahweh Shem Shai, hey, we're in a dead state right now. All right, this dead state that we're in, all right, this leads into the bones of the dry valley. All right. So we were in that dead state, not knowing who we are or whose we are. Okay, not knowing that we belong unto Yahweh Shem Shai, that He has a chosen people, a chosen nation. All right, and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans belong unto Him. All right, and you speckled birds whose father's line goes back to so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Go ahead.
14. And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, said Yahweh Shem Shai.
So Yahweh Shem Shai, hey, if you believe upon the testimony of Yahweh Shem Shai and believe upon the words that are being spoken by Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, and the elders and the deacons and the bishops under them, all right, who are teaching the 100% truth, the full, entire truth, all right, teaching the full, entire truth, all right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has given you a breath of life, okay? He has woken you up to be able to breathe, all right, to think, all right, to be, what is that word, coherent, okay, so you can understand, all right?
15. And the word of the Lord came upon, so like himself over. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, move, moreover, there, son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and the children of Israel has compassion.
God. So Judah and the children of Israel, all right, as we had mentioned before in the book of Matthews, all right, and that, can you pull Matthews, was it 2 and 5? It's a B. That's what it was.
John, this is Matthew 2 and 5. And it says, and they said unto him in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
Shall come a governor, all right, to rule my people Israel. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and the so-called Negro, all right, the head tribe is Judah, all right, which Yahweh came out of, okay? Go ahead.
Going back to Ezekiel 37 and 17. 16, continuing. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel has
go back one.
Okay. Start back at the top.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 37 and 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, and the children of Israel has compassion.
God. So this one stick is this stick right here. All right. This stick that tells you your heritage. All right. Tells you who you are. A so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Right. If you're a so-called Negro, you'd be you'd be of the tribe of Judah. All right. If you're so going all the way down, if you're so-called Issachar, you'd be so-called Mexican. All right. And everything in between. All right.
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, for all the house of Israel has compassion.
For all the house of Israel has compassion. All right. From the top tribe, all right, all the way into the tribe that is at the bottom of the charts. Okay. Which is Judah through Issachar. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's just go over it for edification. All right. So you have Judah. Can you see it? Right. So-called Negro would be Judah. So-called West Indian would be Benjamin. Levi would be Haitian. Dominican would be Simeon. Zebulon would be the so-called Guatemalan and Panamanian. Manasseh would be so-called Puerto Rican. Slock it. I'm looking upside down. All right. So Ephraim would be so-called Puerto Rican. Manasseh would be Cuban. Gad would be North American Indian. North American Indian. Reuben would be Seminole Indian. Naphtali would be the Argentinians to Chile. Asher would be Colombia to Uruguay, and Issachar would be Mexican. All right. It's hard for me to see upside down without my glasses. Everything just start bunching up. All right. So this is that stick that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said, go and make that stick. And the brother's going to continue reading on that.
17. And join them one to another unto one stick, and they shall become one in thou hand.
Join them one to another to one stick. All right. This is that one stick that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai commanded us to make. All right. Matter of fact, you can drop down. I think you can go drop down to 19.
Ezekiel 37:19. Say unto them, thus said the Lord power, behold, I will take this stick of Joseph, which is in the land of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his followers, and will put them with them, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand.
And this is exactly what you're seeing right now. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are coming back to establish Yahweh and Yahweh's household. All right, the Bayashadabadat, the house of David. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, we are established as a nation through the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Abaratazah, we be those men. All right, to be of that household. Okay.
20. And the sticks whereon their writings shall be in my hand before thy eyes.
And it's written before your eyes. All right. You've seen this sign. You know, if you've heard anything about the Israelites, you've seen this sign at least for the last 35 years. All right. You've seen and understood that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of Israel. Now, you don't have to accept it. All right. You can deny it all you want. But hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not a man that he should lie. Okay. This wasn't put together to make you feel good. All right. It was put together to bring you back into remembrance. All right. And after you repented and humbled yourself, then you can start to feel good. All right. But that's only the beginning. You feel good for a second, and then you start to understand your affliction that you have to go through. Okay. Because these nations, these other 17 nations are against you, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You got something?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Hold down Psalms 83. You can drop that.
This is Amos chapter 9. Sorry, check it. I think. Yeah. It's Amos 9 and verse 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is closing up the breaches. How is he closing up the breaches? All right, to help the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans come back together to understand that we are one nation, we are one people. All right, closing those breaches. So it's no more you have to worry about going on this street and that street. All right, understanding that you're oppressed together in this land of your captivity. All right, this fucking hell here in America. all right, aka Babylon, aka Rome 2.0.
That's why, going referring back to Ezekiel 37, where it says, it will unite Judah, even Ephraim. It said even Ephraim because the northern and southern kingdom once were at war against each other.
God.
All right, through greed and other just wickedness. Because the northern kingdom had a lot of wicked rulers. But this is this stick, or the 12 tribes chart is reuniting, and that's what's the start of everything, coming back together.
God.
The northern and southern kingdom.
Right? You've seen, you've seen it, if you've been alive, all right? If you're like in your, if you're like in your 30s, all right, 40s, you can account for the hell that so-called Negroes and Latinos had put on each other, and Native Americans. All right, that hey, we were all different type of people. We didn't mess with each other. All right, and then throughout this time, Yahweh Shimei Yahushai made it plain upon tables. All right, waking up Alba Bivens first and foremost. All right, and then down through Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakal, and the other brothers under them. All right, that follow after the doctrine. All right,
you can see that that strife in movies and stuff like that.
God.
Like what was it? Any movie, Juice. The so-called Puerto Rican dude, who was Ephraim.
Blood in, blood out.
Had tension with Tupac, right? And then Blood In, Blood Out, where he, the head shot caller in that movie, he was saying, he's like, when black and Latino, black and brown together, then nobody can stop us. That was a main initiative.
The Warriors.
Right, Warriors.
Yeah.
And also, what was that? Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
When they got jumped, where did the police take them?
God.
He took them to the barrios, right?
God,
Because
American Meat.
He knew that they would get messed up even more.
God.
That happened in American Meat too.
Yep.
Right? He took them to the other side of town.
Colors.
That was ran by the so-called blacks, right? But that tension was all created by Esau Edom to keep us separated, so they could control, right? Because division causes
strife.
Right.
Right.
So keeping that heritage separated, all right. That's how they stayed in control, for so long.
God.
But they can't stop prophecy, and they can't stop, Yahweh Shimei Yahushai.
God. Hey, and how could you not understand? All right. Ultimately, we know why you don't understand. All right, because Yahweh Shimei Yahushai didn't give you the ears to hear and the eyes to see. All right, but here it is. This devil has been showing you through movies. All right, the movies are actually like Esau Edom scriptures. Okay, that's why you have the Tell Lie Vision, Tell Lies to Your Vision, and so-called conspiracy theory, the upper echelon. All right, the so-called illuminated ones. All right, who have these messages in the movies, and then they have the certain. After you get so high in the order, you have to go see certain movies. Okay, so you can get the decryption, all right, of the codes that are in the movie.
Psalms 64, they work there.
Go. Yeah, go ahead and pull Psalm 64 right there.
I got one more. Real quick. This is Zechariah 12 and verse 7. It says, "The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah."
God, so Yahweh Shimei Yahushai first woke up the so-called Negroes, all right? Then the Latinos and Native Americans, all right? For the simple fact, hey, Judah is the head tribe, all right? And so that there would be no conflict, all right? And who's, through the Spirit, who's in charge, all right? Because Yahweh Shai came out of what tribe? As it just said in the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 5. He came out of the tribe of Judah. All right. So every other tribe is under Judah. All right, which is the head tribe. All right, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is about decency and order. Everything must be done in decency and order. All right, there is no order out of chaos. Okay.
What is just referring to scriptures, because you are the least among
God.
People, just because and look how the world views Judah as a whole. The so-called black man, they get the most hell out of all the tribes. Okay.
God.
They have received the most hell. Not that any other tribe didn't go through afflictions and whatnot. And every tribe went through slavery.
God.
But even today, that they are still that looked at as the bottom of the bottom.
God. Hey, and that's how you know we're the same people, because we suffered together.
Right.
All right.
It's that in Jeremiah 16:33.
God. Go ahead and pull Psalms 64. Yeah.
This Psalm 64 starting at 1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
God, the secret counsel of the wicked, which is the so-called white man.
Right. And the Esau, Edom, they do all they business, when the sun goes down. All right. They are working that their their witchcraft, their and other folly, enchantments against Jake. They do all that behind closed doors, behind in the dark.
God, in their Bohemian groves.
All right. In their Bohemian groves and their their what they call them,
spiritual cooking parties,
the Illuminati.
Yep.
Their rituals. All that's done. Where you can't see it. All right. This whole system is based up off of that witchcraft, and they have it to a T to where it's through, like the brother brought up, through movies, through your pharmaceuticals, through your what they call ley lines, which every major city is built off of these ley lines, but it's all connected to one big one big grid that's like a sacrifice.
All
right, and the bigger cities have a higher frequency of wickedness.
Hey, important case. Las Vegas, Sin City,
right. LA, New York. All the major cities are like directly upon these ley lines where they all connect.
God. Hollywood, you're Hollywood.
And Hollywood goes back to hollow wood, which that is a type of a special a stick that they had
Right.
to perform these
Hey, that's your Harry Potter. All right,
rituals.
that's your witchcraft. Hey, did they not have they had what was that one called? The hollow wood, right? The Harry Potter. It was hollow wood. I think it was number 7 or something like that, 6 or 7.
Oh, Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, Deathly Hallows. But Deathly Hallows, yeah. I mean, but still, Deathly Hallows. All right. Right, you had something else?
No.
All right, but yeah, go ahead, full 83. These you start at shooter. But these you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, have suffered these afflictions by the hands of these other nations. Okay? Go ahead.
This is Psalms 83 starting at 2. For lo, thou enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the hand.
All right, they make a loud noise. All right, they make a loud noise about you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and that loud noise is that hissing and that mocking. All right, that oh, don't trust them. All right, I've had a heathen nation. All right, tell me that when they came over here, all right, they're taught not to trust the so-called Negroes. All right, Latinos and Native Americans. All right, you get cheap labor out of the Mexicans, so go ahead and do what you need to do with them. All right, but as far as trusting them, you don't trust these people. All right, the Native American does nothing but drink fire water. All right, he's not dependable. All right. Go ahead.
3. They have taken crafty counsel against our people, and concealed against thee hidden ones.
God. So they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. What people? All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and concealed thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? All right, it was you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why? Because you became a proverb and a byword. Salakia. And how did you become that proverb and byword? All right, through slavery. Matter of fact, you got something? I want you to pull Deuteronomy 28 and
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 36 says, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other powers, wood and stone. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
God. So Yahweh Shem Shai put us in this captivity for our disobedience. All right. But the proverb and the byword that we became is that so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, Cuban, Puerto Rican, all right, West Indian, all right, Mexican, all right, those are bywords, okay? And it happened for the disobedience of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans not following after Yahweh Shai with your full heart. All right, giving your mind, body, and soul unto Yahweh Bashem Shai as it was commanded. All right, as we have became and made that we're on one accord and became that people with Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, through that covenant. All right, through the blood sprinkled on the people and the book. Okay, go ahead.
Psalm 33 and 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Let us cut them off from being a nation so that the name of Israel, all right, the Israelites will be no more in remembrance. All right, we know that there is a landmass called Israel, all right, with small hatters, all right, but the people, all right, because Israel is a people before it is a place, all right, so they cut the people off from their heritage, okay, the true people of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Israelites, okay, we're just go ahead.
5. For they have counseled together in one consent that are confederate against thee.
They have consulted together with one consent. All right. Hey, so this is all these other nations got together and said, you know what? We agree with you. All right. We agree that this is the best thing for us. All right. And we're going to let you lead the charge. Esau, Edom, we're going to let you lead the charge. Why? Because you're him. All right. Go ahead.
That was who the Most High put on, took from the bottom of the barrel and replaced on the top, referring to Daniel 4 and 17.
God.
To show that he dwelleth in the kingdom of men.
God.
Right? He sets up, who runs the world. And all Esau is doing, is there to chastise the Israelites.
Right.
Through the curses.
God, right? Because Esau, Edom was essentially here for the chastisement of Jacob, all right? To be that whooping stick unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Because that was ordained by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, as the brother just said. Okay, go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ismaelites of Moab and of the Hagarnes, Hagarians, Gilbal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, and with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Shalai.
All right. So all these other nations, all right, these other nations that go back into the other 17 nations, all right, the 17 nations helped, all right, destroy the children of Israel. All right, whether it be through slavery, whether it be through their philosophy, all right, taking away their heritage and keeping them on the bottom. All right, through perpetual system set up. All right, being able to come over here and receive the loans from the people who actually live in this land. All right, and have that much more rights than the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Okay, it is you have to answer for it. All right, chiefly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, woman, and child. Okay, but you other nations aren't getting away either, and 2/3 of our own nation. All right, 2/3 of our own nation follows the prescription and the philosophy of this Western philosophy. All right, they bought into it full-heartedly. All right, they want nothing more but to continue to be a part of this fucked up system. All right, you got something? Matter of fact, can you go to the book of Baruch? Slakia. I think it's Baruch 2. Where are you at this day in our captivity? Yeah, 3 and 8.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead with that, and then we'll go to that.
This is Zechariah. I was right there too. So. Zechariah 1:15. It says, "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they help forward the affliction."
God. So Yahweh Shimei Shai, hey, this is mercy from Yahweh Shimei Shai for you other nations outside of Esau Edom. He said he was but a little displeased with you. All right, but then you helped forward the affliction. All right, you helped. You put it. You added fuel to the fire. Okay, you added fuel to the fire, and you bought it. You bought the fuel from Esau Edom. All right, and they gave it to you at the lowest cost possible. All right, but they still had to make a profit from it. All right, and that profit was that they made from it was conquering you other nations as well at the same time. All right, but that you're going to bend to their will. All right, that's why this Western philosophy has reached around the world. Okay, it has reached around the world and affected and infected everyone and everything. All right, that's why this devil has to be done away with.
That's the truth.
All right.
That is. Yeah. Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
So we are yet this day in our captivity here in the land of America. All right. First and foremost, in the land of America. All right. AKA Sodom and Gomorrah, AKA Babylon, AKA Egypt. All right. America, Rome 2.0. All right. We are in this captivity. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds. All right. Who are in the shores of America, especially first and foremost, but around the world. All right. You're still in captivity. You still don't have the freedoms. All right. You are the true true rightful owners, the heirs, the however you want to say it, the heirs, the what is that word I'm looking for? The sovereigns. Okay, you have the freedom. All right, because you are of the nation of Israel. All right,
and to be a subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, our power.
God, hey, and it goes to show you, because do the royals make payments? Why would they make a payment if they own? All right, if you have ownership, you make payments to nothing because you own it. All right, you truly don't own anything if you are making payments to something. It's not possible. They're contrary to each other. All right, you could say you're still in the process of purchasing to get to ownership. All right, that's why you never truly own your house. Okay, you might own the wood, okay, but you never own the land that it's on. You always have to pay here in the land property tax. Oh, it's like drone. Like, what does that sound? All right. That was it.
So, Professor Katsu, I thought it was Zechariah.
Said what?
Professor Katsu.
Oh. I think it's Zephaniah, not Zechariah.
I was looking to
The oppressors held them captive and would not let them go. Oppressors. Slack it. Oppressors captive. No. Salaki Akif. Right?
you got some.
Yeah. Right, so matter of fact, go to Jeremiah 5 and 19. All right, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, have lost out. Okay, you have lost out from being a people of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai because you care not to obey Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. 2/3 of our own nation. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah 5 and 19. And it shall come to pass when ye shall say, wherefore doeth the Lord our power all those things unto us?
Right. You were going to ask, why did all this stuff happen to us? Because you were disobedient. All right. Because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were disobedient unto the will and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. And matter of fact, Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. Yeah, pull that first. Salakia.
Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
All right, 2 parts shall be cut off and die for the disobedience of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, for being a disobedient, badass child. All right, for being an abomination unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, for not performing his will and living by his law, statutes, and judgments. All right, and judging by them as well. Okay, you can go back.
Just going back to Jeremiah 5 and 19, starting at the top. And it shall come to pass when ye shall say, wherefore doeth Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai our power all those things unto us, then shall they answer them, like as ye have forsaken me and served strange powers in your land, so shall ye serve strangers in the land that is not yours.
God. And so Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai put that curse on us All right, because that was the clause of the contract. Okay, he put that curse on us, the clause of the contract. If we did not obey, that we would serve strange idols. All right, of wood and stone.
No, that's the biggest biggest problem with our people. They always look to the next thing, anything outside of what they're supposed to look at or what they're supposed to worship. They look at everything else.
God.
From Buddhism to Egyptology.
Right. Hey, even being a atheist is against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for you, Jake. All right, you say I don't believe in nothing. You don't have that option. All right, to not believe in nothing. All right, you're already bought, paid, and spoken for. Okay, but since you want to do what you want to do, okay, there's a consequence. I'll keep going.
20. Declare this in the house of Jacob, and publish it in Judah, saying, Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and not seen, which have ears and not heard not.
God, so you have eyes, but you have not seen. All right, you've seen the men on the highways and byways, okay, preaching and proclaiming the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, you've heard and seen these videos on YouTube and multiple other platforms, but chiefly YouTube. All right, you know somebody, you've heard something. All right, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, 40 plus years. All right, this word has been moving throughout the earth. God, all right, has been moving throughout the earth. So don't say that you didn't see or hear. All right, and if you didn't see or hear, it's ultimately because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai blocked you. All right. Okay.
Right, and really, since the apostles took it to YouTube, that's a good 15 plus years that
God,
that line went out.
it was 2007.
It's 2007, 2008.
Yep.
So that line's been out for a good 15 years.
God. All right.
22.
Matter of fact, you want to pull that?
Fear ye not me, said Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Will ye not trouble in my presence, with have placed the sand for the bond of the sea by the particular a perpetual deceit, that it cannot pass it. Decree, Shalaki. Perpetual decree, that is cannot pass it, and through the waves thereof toss themselves.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said, hey, roughly said, you fear everybody and everything, but you won't fear me, the one who made the heavens and the earth, and then gave the seas its bounds where it cannot pass. All right, when that tide comes in and it goes so far, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai ordained it to go that far. All right, and when he wants what do they call it, a typhoon or tidal wave, all right, he makes it go farther. Okay, but other than that, it doesn't move. It doesn't move. All right, it goes to exactly where it's planned to go. He put that order in. All right, but you're not gonna fear me. Hey, what is it? Fear not them that can destroy a body. But the one that can destroy body and soul. All right. Hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not playing with you, Jakes, especially you. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds. All right.
Our people are more afraid of their master than Yahweh Bashim Yahushai himself.
God, that's through perpetuated throughout of all of slavery too. All right, as you were fearing your masters. All right, You feared your masters more than you feared the Most High. But ultimately, why? Because you didn't have Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai put that fear in you through these other nations, chiefly the white man, Esau, Edom. All right?
You know, younger Jake out there, they try to say they don't fear anything. You know,
God.
you know that's why so many of them is you know getting gunned down in the street. You know, by you know whoever, because fear is you know not having fear is a lack of awareness. You know,
God.
because you know you should have some type of fear when you're in a dangerous situation, when you know that you could be took out. All right.
Even 50 Cent said, "Hey, the person who you guys look up to so much, if a man have no fear, he's dumb." All right. They asked him, was he scared? Was he scared when he got shot?
That goes into you know what true you know wisdom is.
God.
You know, the fear of the Most High.
Yep.
You know, pertaining to
Wisdom and knowledge.
Proverbs 1:8 or 1:7. You know, you ain't gotta pull it, but unless you want to. But that's what it is. Y'all continue. I was just wind picked up.
And through the waves thereof tossed themselves. Yet can they not prevail.
Call it out.
Oh, I was just continuing.
I was just making sure. Go ahead and call it out so they know where you are.
Still at Jeremiah 5:22. I'm sorry, top or
just start at the top.
Okay,
just read through it.
Just going back, starting at the top, John 5:22. Fear ye not me.
John?
I mean Jeremiah, Shalaki. Jeremiah 5:22. Fear ye not me, said Yahweh. Will ye not tremble in my presence?
Will you not tremble in my presence? Will you not be afraid when Yahweh sends Yahweh Shah to crack those clouds? All right, would you not tremble if you heard the voice of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai? All right, hey, and matter of fact, perfect movie for perfect movie depiction is when you hear somebody you're walking like a horror movie. You're walking, and you hear somebody behind you. All right, that's a perfect depiction. All right, because you won't be able to see. Hey, you're going to be afraid. All right, you're in a complete dark place, and you have not the eyes to see or the ears to hear. And then Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai opens them up just so you can hear this voice to get this hear his voice to get this warning. All right. The first thing when brothers wake up, they have fear. All right. It is fear that woke brothers up. All right. You know, and I'll speak. Hey, you getting it? Yeah.
Out of 2 Corinthians 5. In verse 11, and it says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciences.
So this is through fear. All right. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai persuades men through fear.
Right.
All right. Hey, you first, before you heard heard that it was good news, you heard it in your mind as this is terrible. All right. It's terrible when you first hear. All right. Then Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, as you continue to listen and start learning and understanding that, hey, this is good news. All right. But it's good news for the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds whose father's line goes back. All right.
And that, you know, what do you not have to be fearful of? You know, we're living in a society, you know, who's losing, you know, their not their rights, because we don't have rights. We have liberty, you know, and we don't have true freedom either.
God.
But we're losing our liberties that were given and written to establish this country, different from, you know, the
Middle East.
well, not Middle East, but from Britain. All right, you know, the same laws that were established, you know, by the colonizers to separate themselves from oppression. All right, they're getting rid of them. Freedom of speech, freedom of right to bear arms. All these things are starting to get stripped of you. All right, and not to mention you got famine, economy that's crashing.
Economic downturn.
We're in a recession. All right, more pestilences. All right, that are worse than the previous one a couple of years back. All right, people losing their jobs, homeless. All right, the people are getting those side effects. You just seen Mike Tyson, who was a mighty man. Everybody was fearful to be in a fight with him or a situation with him because he was a loose cannon at one point in his life. Now he's in a damn wheelchair.
God.
All right, and he took that thing, because he was fearful of not being able to feed his family.
God.
All right, and then on top of the most thing you should be fearful of is those ICBM missiles.
God, hey, it goes back to Jeremiah. All right, that the brother's reading right now. You fear, hey, you fear not me. All right.
You're not going to fear ultimate destruction, and know that if you die a gruesome death before that, you're going to be brought back just to see that ultimate judgment here in Babylon the Great.
And you're not, so it goes to prove that you're not going to escape it either way. All right. You will not escape it either way. You have to die that second death. All right. Three times. If you're looking at it from a cardinal sense. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Continue back on Jeremiah 5:22, which have placed the sand of the bond of the sea of the perpetual decreed that it could not pass it, and through the waves thereof tossed themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Through the roar, yet can they not pass over it.
God can't pass over it. All right, the sea is not going to go any farther than Yahweh Bashim Yahushai allows it to go. All right.
Same thing like these devils. He said balance, on Esau Edom's kingdom. All right, so they can only go so far before they can only go so high.
God.
All right, they're only going to be able to be so successful. All right, and then it's going to be a transition of power.
God.
Yeah.
23. But this people had a rebelling and a rebellious heart, that they rebelled and gone. Rebelling? Did I say rebelling?
Revolted.
Okay. Revolting. Okay, let me start over. But this people had a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone.
Right. So you're going to have went astray. All right. Here it is that you continue to go off and not care. All right. But since you not care, all right, since you don't care, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, hey, made sure that 2/3 of his own nation are going to be given up. All right. Given up to what? That thermal nuclear fire, that ICBM. Given up to Esau Edom. All right. As the devil come down with great wrath. All right. Death, famine, and destruction is for you.
Starvation, a FEMA camp.
God.
All right, and a missile to look forward to. If you're not a part of the elect, if you're anything outside of the elect, that's what's going to be brought onto you. Esau Edom's going to, first, and foremost, he's after the Israelites, all right, and the elect of Israel.
God.
But hey, even people that buck up against his system of his own nation going to see some of those same punishments.
God. Go down to 25.
Jeremiah 5:25. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholded good things from you.
God, your iniquities have turned away good things. All right, here it is. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans shall receive good things. All right, if you would but hearken unto the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American speckled bird, man, woman, and child. All right.
We would have never had to see this current state that we're in,
God.
right? But as a nation, you know, we went off.
Hey, a nation, we went off, and you could have been in a better estate, and you can be in a better estate, Jake, if you just but hearken unto the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, you can start coming back into your rightful order, even though we're up under the curses. Your life will be more pleasurable unto you. All right, because hey, these are the ways of life. All right. These are the ways, and these were the ordinance ordained for you first and foremost, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds whose father's line goes back. Okay?
In that,
Yeah, you're done.
kind of in that iniquity or in that sin, you know, that all sin is transgression of the law. All right. So because Israel transgressed against the Most High, hey, we have to suffer those curses. That long list of curses to be at that, you know.
All right.
It's Jeremiah 15:5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan 3. Bemoan thee. Shalaki.
So who should mourn and who should I'm trying to think of another word.
Who won't be sad that
Who's gonna be sad? The water. Who's gonna be sad that you're in this low estate?
Right. It's the only people, you know, that are you know, as it says in Jeremiah, is that 15 chapter 2?
That's 15.
Later on down.
Yeah, it's later on down.
But you know, the gates of the Judah is blackened unto the ground.
God.
All right. So you know, so the only people that are in mourning, you know, are you so-called Israelites, or you so-called you know, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites.
Right.
All right. But hey, going into you know, Deuteronomy 28, you know, it said that we will go into Egypt again, and no one will redeem you. All right, I mean that we ain't gonna have nobody to save us in this captivity.
Right.
You know.
Hey, and that's exactly, you know.
No man shall buy you.
Yeah, I was just, no man's gonna buy you, but don't think of buy in the buying sense as an exchange of money. All right, because there's two buys. All right, so nobody's gonna deliver you. All right. There's nobody that can deliver the nation of Israel but him that delivers, which is Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Go ahead and continue on.
Or who shall go aside and ask how they does it?
Right? Nobody's gonna, hey, here it is in Psalms 83. All right? They cut you off from being remembered as the name of Israel from being remembered as a nation. All right? So why would you think they care about your downfall? Why would you think they care about your well-being? Okay? Everything that this devil plans for you, all right, is a double-edged sword. Okay? It's a double-edged sword to lead you ultimately to a destruction. All right? He gives you, when welfare first started, all right, he was destroying the household. Yeah, he gave the woman money, but kicked the father out the home. All right, so your daughter could become whores. Your sons could become part of, a different alphabet club. All right, and we're not talking about the boxcar children.
They emasculated, you know, they emasculated the male father figure, you know.
Right, and gave masculinity unto the women. All right, and this was a perpetual. All right, this was incremental.
Right. It was saying Isaiah, you know, surely things are turned upside down.
God.
Right. Esau got under Esau's rulership, this whole world's, you know, out of order.
God.
You know, it's light for dark. They put light for dark, and good for bad. Good for evil.
God.
All right, I got a pretty.
God.
This is a Zechariah 11:5. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not."
God. Hey, and that's Esau Edom hands down.
Right.
All right. Look, historically in slavery, if you look, hey, the Willie Lynch. All right.
Right. Even today's prison system.
That was
Right.
today's prison system.
They making money off of you, Jake.
Hand over fist.
Whether it be you being jail or prison, or you a rapper or celebrity that promotes that,
God.
because all they do is they get their these small hats run the record industry, so and the movie industry, so they broadcast that as a good thing to do, and then the cycle of people going, there's even more people doing it.
God.
They had I want to say a psychologist. He was a teacher at some college. I seen it on a quick little short. I was talking about they had a thing called the Huxtable effect and the Lil Wayne effect. Now, during the time of the Cosby Show, more black men, were graduating at like a 70-something% rate. All right, but then when Lil Wayne was out, everything dropped back down, and the jail rates went back up.
God.
For this so-called black man. I didn't see it. Get to see it. Sure,
yeah, it was funny. It was priceless. I mean, that's a good point, because here it is. Hey, Lil Wayne, all right, has deteriorated music. All right, hey, that off of his eyes blinking like headlights. All right, through all the lean and everything like that, making glorifying wickedness. All right, and Cosby glorifying simpism. All right,
yeah, on the show they were promoting.
Yeah, right. Family values and everything. Yeah.
What you would call a black household, regular.
God. I mean, and the reason why I said simpism as well for the Cosby Show, because, growing up as my era, right, that the Cosby Show, what it did perpetuate was that family wholesome value and everything. But, even though it was TV, it was still not making the household under the dad. All right. It was that 50-50. Yeah. All right. So that's why I said simpism. All right. It's not a 50-50. The father controls the household.
Yeah, well, they still have to push.
Yeah, no,
they
that's what I'm
just
saying.
Have like a Sanford and Son.
Right. I'm just making the argument for that, But nevertheless, hey, it's all ordained by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for this to happen. All right, so prophecy can be fulfilled. Okay.
This is Zephaniah 3 in verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the fray. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to power, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with my fire of my jealousy."
God, so yeah, how about Shem Yahushua said, "Wait ye upon me." All right, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have to wait upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, till he rises us up to the prey. All right, till he determines and Yahweh gives that decree. It is time. All right, it is time for you to usher in this kingdom. All right, to bring back your kingdom. All right, through the will of Yahweh. Okay, because this was given under this was given unto Yahweh. All right. Slaki, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh gave it unto Yahweh Shai. All right. Everything was made for him, by him. Okay. For his will. Okay. You got something else? I think it actually on 17. No, 16. Because I had your profile. Yeah, go ahead and read 6 again.
All right. This is Jeremiah 15:6. Thou hast forsaken me, said Yahweh. Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I search out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary and repenting.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said, hey, because we have went backsliding, all right, and not cared to hearken unto his word, he's going to stretch his hand out. All right, and which hand? He's going to stretch his left hand out. All right, the left hand to cause the destruction of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And ultimately, right here, what it was talking about is the from the beginning, all right, from the beginning of slavery. All right, this has been still a time of a whipping stick for the nation of Israel. All right, this is the whipping stick, and now we're coming up out of this. All right, our punishment is almost accomplished. Okay, we're under the curses, and until Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, till Yahweh sends Yahweh Shai back, cracks those clouds, Abaratas out where those men get beamed up and see the destruction of this land of America. All right, and part of that ceremony, that's when it's over. All right, that's when we can truly rejoice. All right, that's when the kingdom is started. All right, but we are now going in, and we're in the midst. All right, the labor pains of Jacob's trouble. Okay, through the pestilence. All right, through all the abominations. All right, through the plagues of the mind. All right, through the pestilence out here.
The plagues that Yahweh Shai revisiting this world with.
God, all these curses being performed. All right, unto the nation of Israel, chiefly for your disobedience. All right, he's going to start in his house first. All right, you got three. All right, so let's go to let's do famine of the word right quick. So we got Psalms 19.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 1. It says, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament shows his handiwork.
Hey, how about Shimei Al-Shakin to show up this handiwork? How? All right, he showed this handiwork, through this what they call the internet. All right, he's showing the glory of his word. All right, so that it can be performed, it's pushed out throughout all the world. Okay.
Verse 2, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
God, day unto day uttereth speech. All right, because you have brothers uploading videos day in and day out. All right, uttering the speech. Hey, speaking daily. All right, about Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in holy conversation, edifying, reproving, and reproving. All right. Hey, and rebuking. Salakia.
There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
There is no speech nor language that has not been heard of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, you got brothers teaching in sign language. You got brothers teaching in Spanish, Japanese, Chinese. All right, Cantonese. All right, it does not matter the language. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai makes sure that his word went forth throughout the whole world. All right, and it's going to continue. All right, until he ordains the time is now. Okay.
Verse 4, their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world, and them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
The line has went out through the whole world. So did this devil take a line and wrap it around the whole world, put fiber optics through the whole world? I mean, yes and no. All right, but essentially, what is that? That line that went out is the satellites. All right, the internet, all right, the World Wide Web. Okay, where it has moved about. The word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has went throughout the whole foundation of the world, so you can receive here the message and the testimony of Yahweh Yahushai. Okay, that you cannot, that you can have no excuse to say that you didn't know, you didn't hear, you didn't see. All right, even if you don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you've ultimately heard and seen. Okay, you just didn't understand. God. Yeah,
this is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, power, that I will send out a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
God. So not only a famine is going to come in the land where you people are going to starve, all right, you're going to die of hunger, all right, you're going to die of thirst, all right, but ultimately, hey, what's going to be taken away? The word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai from you 2/3, all right, and you other nations, all right, you never had the word, you other nations, but it's the 2/3 that it's going to be taken away from, all right, you're not going to be able to hear. You can't go and say, there was those brothers over there, they were over there. When that time comes, they said this was going to happen, let me go find them. Okay, there's not going to be any of that. You're not going to be able to click on and find the video. I remember watching the video that one time. Yeah, that one time is one time.
Right. And they're going to be there. You know, because as you're seeing, you know, YouTube is they're amping up they're moving forward in this censorship. Okay, which is it is a part, of technocracy and, this NWO, to get everybody on the same accord, but they don't want, and just as they had with Twitter, why Elon Musk bought out Twitter, so the so-called truth can come out. All right, this these devils being exposed is hurting their system, and it's hurting their plans, to what they really want to do. All right, because people are seeing that the people in government, really ain't who they say, and they're really not doing anything good for you. All right, and they're really, they're being exposed as shady people as themselves. And that starts with the prophets on the highways and byways exposing them, because when you match it with the scriptures, hey, it's a lethal combination.
God. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not playing with you 2/3 and not playing with Esau Edom.
Hey, as the scriptures say, this word is a double-edged sword, cutting asunder. So the prophecies in the book and the words that we speak, matched up with the news and the atrocities of the so-called white man. All right, it's affecting them.
God. Hey, you're getting exposed, E. All right, getting exposed all the way through. All right, from your historical wickedness, all right, into your present day wickedness. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is making it plain upon tables for those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. Okay, and he is doing this all to perform, hey, his NWO.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3, and it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
Hey, the man is being revealed, the son of perdition, right now. Yahweh Shem Yahushai put it on Abba Bivens down to Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, the elders and the deacons under them. All right, teaching the 100% truth, the word unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and exposing Esau, Edom first and foremost, and then the rest of these other nations. pursuant to Psalms 83. All right, and showing how about Shimei Shai showing everybody's hand. All right, lifting up thy skirt and showing thy nakedness of this fucking harlot.
Kind of when you go to Job 9:24, it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. The wicked is given into the hand of the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? So we done pointed out exactly who this devil is. Who Satan's physical counterpart who's working this iniquity, and it's a so-called white man.
Right. Hey,
he's the destruction of this whole system and of this whole world.
God. Hey, how much and think if you think about how much more, all right, would you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans been in a better case if you didn't believe upon this Christianity doctrine? All right, if you did not always see these angels and these wise men depicted as these white guys.
Right.
Okay,
or
some
sort of power that you would want to replicate.
All right. All right. So why would it be? All right, that everything would change for you. All right, because you started remembering who you are and whose you are. All right, that's one of the things that this devil deceived the whole world with.
Right. And now that the information is out, now they're doing whatever they can to cover it up.
God.
All right. Like how critical race theory went out. They said that they're going to teach it in the schools, and then hold on, our kids are feeling bad now. All right. So we can't teach this no more. All right. Yeah, your kids found out that their white privilege didn't come, without the blood, sweat, and tears of all people. Y'all didn't get it as clean as there wasn't no
You're not
Thanksgiving feast, with the Indians and Pilgrims eating together. They didn't teach the Trail of Tears.
Right. Hey, it's because ultimately you're not sovereign. All right. You are not ordained to have that right. At the end of the day, okay, you are made to be subject unto a higher power, as all other nations are. All right, and that power is the power of Israel. All right, under the Israelites. All right, you serve the Israelites, which the Israelites serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, everything's done in decency and order. Okay, we're not a nation that leads ourselves. We are a nation that has to be led. All right, and we cannot truly be led by any other nation. All right, only in wickedness when we're not a nation that we're not. Let me say this again. We're not a nation that can be led. Okay, or that can lead. All right, we can only lead when we have been led in righteousness. All right, because if we follow as Israel has done after these other nations, all right, it always ends up in a bad case because we're not designed to follow any other power.
Following after these other nations and their idols.
God. All right.
So that's ultimately what led you to our destruction as we've been going into this whole camp.
God. Hey, Israel has been broken. All right. Has been broken down. All right. And let's jump in to Revelation right quick. Yeah. Start at 14. Then we're going to go ahead and close out.
Revelation 13, starting at 14. And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which have had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should not, that they shall make an image of the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live.
So this image, all right, of this system, this beast system is that image, all right, is the philosophy, all right, is the whole system, how it's set up, all right, for the destruction of really, first and foremost for the nation of Israel, but for the world in general. All right, how everything is set up. Okay, to put the whole world under submission. All right.
The beast system, coincides with Western philosophy. You know, it's a part of it. This is Rome 2.0 or 7.0, however you want to put it. And their philosophies, in totality, has put this world in a low estate,
Hey,
under their that power.
and the true hellish conditions. All right. This is 90% of other nations' hells. All right. 90% is their hells. 100% the Israelites' hell.
Afghanistan, they said that America pushing, that Western philosophy over there was worse than slavery.
God.
All right, now you see them since Biden packed up and well, he didn't really pack up, he just left.
He said, we got to go.
Got everybody to jump ship.
Leave everything.
And leave all the tools over there. They're going back to what they believe in. And a lot of those, people, they're mixed in with the Israelites.
God.
That's why they follow our meaning, the Israelite customs.
God. Hey, that's why also and the Western philosophy aspect of it, who's really rising up over there in Afghanistan? All right, the women. All right, of what they trying to do and what they want to do because they want to live as these Western women.
They ain't been rising up no more.
Right. But hey,
but they were getting that feminist movement out, and now those same feminists out there, they going to jail.
God.
They getting sent to prison.
And why? Because they said we gonna stop it at the head. We're gonna cut it off.
I seen I don't know her name, but on the news, earlier this week, they gave a feminist
Life.
a 30-year sentence. It's pretty much like
life.
A 30-year sentence, and then on top of that, when she gets out or parole, she has to live inside of Afghanistan for another 35 years.
So she will die there.
And she's gonna learn how to be a woman.
God.
Not under their jurisdiction.
God.
She's not gonna have the freedom to walk around, outside or go drive a car like they do in the States.
Right.
All that got deaded.
Hey, there's no hot girl summers. There is no girls' day, girls' trip or anything like that.
They're not gonna be gallivanting around. And that's really how things, should be anyways.
God. All right. Hey, yeah, there's no reason for, we're not even gonna get into that, but there's no reason for all that nonsense. Okay.
All right, 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, but the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
God. All right. And he gave power. All right. As you seen a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago now, the Neuralink. All right. And also the Walmart, but the I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna call it the neural web. All right, that they put inside your brain. All right, and it's basically a weapon that goes inside your brain. All right, that connects you to this Internet of Things. Okay, that allows you to perform. That allows them to perform these certain miracles. All right, these technology miracles, giving you speech, giving you vision. All right, being able to walk. All right, here it is. They're trying to grow limbs.
Yep.
All right.
This is all bait, for or 2/3 of the object to take, because that's appeasing. If you have a disability and I could put this inside of me, get this device that cures it instantly.
God.
All right, not knowing the consequences.
Hey, and also that you can when they're growing the limbs. Hey, what is it? What is that movie? iRobot.
Yeah.
All right, is one of them. All right. That what is that? What we just watched? The first person shooter movie.
Oh, hardcore Henry.
Yeah, Hardcore Henry. Yeah, Hardcore Henry. How he was dismembered.
Yeah.
All right, and then they go ahead and put the prosthetic on, and then hey, what is now spawning itself? All right, not only super soldier, but the nanobots are now organic. They're organically spawning themselves, so now they're going to be able to put tissue. All right,
It's
provide
like-
that tissue down.
It's like, you know, they had I had seen this article, I believe the elder Menachem Zakbak posted, you know, was doing a lesson on, and they got mRNA, you know, growing out of fruits and vegetables.
God.
You know,
Hey, to target, and the mRNA is to target
Mhm.
certain insects first and foremost, right? Insects first and foremost, and you know what's funny about that is insects, but then they can target
you know, by
biology.
biology. Well, not biology. It's certain, you know,
Certain, like a
they can
DNA.
target certain pretty much they target certain people through you know, this technology could affect, you know, I'm trying to think of certain genotypes.
Yeah, genotypes.
I believe that it would be like a genotype of,
Genome,
you know, certain people,
right?
you know, certain
Races.
right, but there's a bio,
Yeah.
biograph
So
bio but with certain people that have certain DNA characteristics in it.
right,
I think
Right.
it's genotypes.
certain
Okay.
genome. 'Cause
Right.
the genome.
So you know, and you already know who they're coming for first.
God, hey, because they look at you as what? An infestation. Nothing more than insects or or an infestation of a pestilence. All right, because to them you are the cancer of the earth.
So now, you know, they don't have to persuade you to go get, you know, this and that. You know, they don't have to persuade you to go get stabbed up. They can put it in your food, and you're gonna eat it unknowingly.
Right.
All right. Like going back into you know, movies like what was that? James Bond.
James Bond. Yeah.
You know, where they had the nanobots, you know, flying in, but everybody else was affected except for James Bond.
Right.
Right.
And you know them the nanobots spawning themselves and everything. That goes back once again into Hardcore Henry and Virtuosity, Transformers.
The movie Van Diesel, he was a
Bloodshot.
I still ain't watched that. I think you got it. Too.
Yeah, I got it. But hey,
I never got it.
16. And causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand and in their foreheads.
God. So all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, to receive a charagma. All right, that grain of rice.
Hey, going to all, you know, means that they're gonna start with a small group.
God.
You know, like how they did out in Sweden.
Hey, the group just got a little bit bigger.
And then now they targeting who? They targeting the, you know, who's getting it is more so being like a luxury item.
Right.
You know, if you could afford it,
Right.
and make it a cool thing to do.
Right.
All right. These are all ways, you know, to get you, you know, your mind, willing to accept this thing and normalize it. You've seen they got that big machine out. I think it's in the UK. You know,
that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, where they scan the whole person.
Oh yeah. I just seen that.
Scan the whole face, and then it'll tell you shit about, you know, like your generations before and all this other stuff. You know, it'll tell you like it'll put your information in.
Hey, here it is that you had Neuralink, right, by Elon Musk, all right, but now he's now pushing, right, the guy I seen on the news, the guy, he wanted to become one with his car,
Right.
right,
Yeah.
so there it goes. It has both of them.
Right.
Right.
And this, fourth industrial revolution, the technology expands, but it also causes that backlash of privacy. So everything, as Yuval Harris has said, when you're in that cloud, you don't have no privacy or security. You know what they did. That's why Edward Snowden, in Russia right now, because he exposed what Obama was doing behind scenes. He was invading privacy.
Right.
Looking through that camera in your phone, in your laptop, on your TV,
On your TV, on your
Watching
microwave.
and have people watching you do whatever you do during your daily lives.
Right.
So what they try to call it,
The information.
they try to call it terrorist prevention,
Right.
but we really know what it was. They want that control and know all,
Right.
because they know exactly who's who and what's what, and who's gonna do what when this gets pushed out.
God. Right. Hey, but that's why you need Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, as the protection, hedge of protection for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is the only way that you're going to get through it. All right, there is no other way that you're going to see your way through this.
Right, because this devil's plan is so great and powerful against Israel in a low state. All right, that it's pushing you into a corner. The only way you can obtain salvation and is going to be turning back to the power.
God.
All
All right, and that's the grace and the mercy of Yahweh Yahushai.
Right.
All right. No. You got anything else?
No.
All right. But with that, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayash Debadat, the house of David. To the next time, Las Vegas camp, men of valor, Shalom, Wa Abba Baba.